Imagine for a moment that you are an uncut diamond buried beneath layers of soil. Those layers are the beliefs, habits, and expectations that have been placed on you throughout your life. Many of us live our entire lives buried under these layers, unaware of the brilliance and potential lying just beneath. To awaken to your potential is to start the process of unearthing the diamond within. It's not about adding anything to yourself, but about stripping away what doesn't belong, what doesn't serve you, and what doesn't align with the truth of who you are. From a young age, we are shaped by the environment we grow up in. Parents, teachers, and society set rules and norms to guide us, and while these are often well-meaning, they can also create limitations. Over time, we internalize these external expectations and begin to see ourselves through the lens of what others expect, rather than who we truly are. We stop questioning the life we're living and accept it as the way things are. But deep inside, there's often a feeling, a quiet whisper, that there's more. More to experience, more to achieve, more to be. That whisper is your potential calling out to you, urging you to wake up and take notice. To truly awaken to your potential, you must first recognize that your current reality is not the full extent of who you are. Whatever circumstances you're in, whatever limits you think exist, are simply reflections of your past choices and beliefs. They do not define you. You have the power to reshape your reality by reshaping yourself. It starts with awareness, becoming conscious of the thoughts, beliefs, and habits that govern your life. What stories have you been telling yourself about what's possible? What excuses have you made for not stepping into the fullness of your abilities? Awareness is the first step toward transformation because you cannot change what you do not acknowledge. Once you have this awareness, you must dare to dream. Allow yourself to imagine a version of you that is unshackled by fear or doubt. Visualize a life where you are living fully aligned with your passions and purpose. This isn't just daydreaming, it's an essential step in the process of awakening. When you begin to see what's possible, you ignite a spark within yourself that can lead to action. It's not about having all the answers or a perfect plan. It's about taking the first step and trusting that the path will unfold as you move forward. Awakening to your potential also requires confronting fear. Fear is the greatest thief of dreams. It convinces you to play small, to stay safe, to avoid taking risks. But the truth is, the life you want exists on the other side of that fear. You don't overcome fear by avoiding it. You overcome it by facing it head on and proving to yourself that you are stronger than it. Every time you do this, you chip away at the layers covering your potential, and the light of your true self begins to shine through. To awaken is to take responsibility. No one is coming to save you, to hand you the life you desire, or to lock your potential for you. It's up to you. It's about making the choice every day to step into your power and become the person you were always meant to be. This is your life, and you have everything within you to make it extraordinary. The only question is, are you ready to begin? Our lives are filled with layers of beliefs, assumptions, and expectations that we rarely stop to question. These layers are often built from the influences of others, family, friends, teachers, and society. Over time, they create a framework through which we view ourselves in the world, shaping what we think is possible or impossible, what we think we deserve, and what we think we are capable of achieving. These frameworks often go unquestioned, becoming invisible barriers that limit us. Breaking the illusions begins with the willingness to confront these narratives and ask, what if they're not true? So many of us live within the boundaries of stories we didn't even create. Perhaps you were told as a child that you weren't good enough, smart enough, or capable enough. Maybe you faced rejection or failure and internalized the belief that success is not for you. These beliefs form an invisible cage, one that can feel so real that you stop trying to break free. But here's the thing, those limitations are only real if you accept them. The human mind is incredibly powerful, capable of justifying almost anything. If you tell yourself you can't do something, your mind will find every reason to confirm that belief. But if you challenge that belief and say, what if I can? Your mind will start finding reasons for that too. Breaking the illusions requires courage. It's not easy to confront the deeply held beliefs that have shaped your life. It can feel uncomfortable, even threatening to question the narratives that you've relied on for so long. But it's also liberating. When you start to question, you begin to see that many of the truths you've lived by are not truths at all. They are opinions, assumptions, or fears that were passed down to you or created in response to past experiences. By breaking free from these illusions, you open the door to a world of new possibility. This process isn't just about questioning external influences. It's also about looking inward and challenging the stories you've told yourself. How many times have you thought, I'm not good enough, I'll never succeed, or I don't have what it takes? These thoughts might feel like facts, but they're just stories that can be rewritten. When you realize that you have the power to change the narrative, you begin to reclaim control over your life. You start to see that the limitations you've lived with are not permanent, that they can be dismantled and replaced with empowering beliefs. Another key part of breaking illusions is recognizing the role of fear. Fear thrives in illusion. It magnifies your doubts, distorts your perception of reality, and keeps you stuck in a cycle of inaction. But when you shine a light on your fears and examine them closely, you often find that they are not as overwhelming as they seem. Most fears are rooted in uncertainty and the unknown, but growth lies in embracing that uncertainty. By stepping into discomfort and facing your fears, you begin to dismantle the illusions they create, revealing a clearer and more empowering vision of who you are. The process of breaking the illusions is not a one-time event, it's an ongoing journey. As you grow and evolve, new layers of limitation may appear, and new fears may surface. But each time you challenge them, you become stronger, more confident, and more aligned with your true self. You begin to see the world not as it was taught to you, but as it truly is, a place filled with infinite potential and opportunity waiting for you to claim your rightful place within it. Emotions are one of the most powerful forces in our lives. They shape the way we see the world, influence our decisions, and dictate how we respond to challenges and opportunities. Yet, for many of us, emotions can feel like an uncontrollable tide, sweeping us away and determining the course of our lives without our consent. Mastering emotional strength begins with recognizing that emotions are not something that happen to us, they are created by us. They are the product of our thoughts, our focus, and the meaning we assign to the events around us. Once you understand this, you can begin to take control and use your emotions as tools for growth rather than allowing them to hold you back. Every emotion we experience has a purpose. Fear protects us, anger fuels action, joy inspires us, and sadness can bring clarity. However, when we let emotions run unchecked, they can also paralyze us, lead to poor decisions, or drain our energy. Mastering emotional strength doesn't mean suppressing or ignoring your emotions. It means understanding them, embracing them, and learning how to channel them in ways that serve you. This requires awareness, being able to recognize what you're feeling and why. Too often we go through life reacting to emotions without taking the time to understand them. But by pausing and examining your emotions, you gain the power to respond intentionally rather than reacting impulsively. One of the most important aspects of mastering emotional strength is shifting your focus. What you focus on determines how you feel. If you constantly dwell on what's wrong, what you've lost, or what you fear, you will create emotions of frustration, sadness, or anxiety. But if you choose to focus on what's possible, what you're grateful for, and what you can control, you can create emotions of hope, empowerment, and determination. This isn't about ignoring reality, it's about choosing where to direct your energy. Your mind is like a garden, whatever you plant and nurture will grow. By focusing on positive and empowering thoughts, you cultivate emotions that support your growth and success. Another key to emotional mastery is developing resilience. Life will inevitably throw challenges and setbacks your way. You will face moments of doubt, fear, and pain, but these moments do not define you unless you let them. Resilience is the ability to bounce back, to use challenges as fuel for growth rather than allowing them to derail you. Building resilience involves changing the meaning you assign to difficult experiences. Instead of seeing failure as the end, see it as a lesson. Instead of viewing obstacles as barriers, see them as opportunities to grow stronger. This shift in perspective allows you to navigate life's ups and downs with greater confidence and emotional stability. Mastering emotional strength also involves developing self-discipline. Emotions can be incredibly powerful, but they should not dictate your actions. Self-discipline allows you to act in alignment with your values and goals, even when your emotions are pulling you in another direction. This doesn't mean ignoring your feelings, it means acknowledging them, understanding them, and choosing your actions intentionally. Over time, this practice builds a sense of inner strength and control, allowing you to navigate life with clarity and purpose. Emotional mastery is not about perfection. It's not about never feeling fear, anger, or sadness. It's about knowing that you have the power to direct your emotions, to learn from them, and to use them as a source of strength. When you master your emotions, you unlock a level of personal power that allows you to face any challenge, seize any opportunity, and create a life that reflects your true potential. Taking bold actions is the cornerstone of transforming your life and stepping into the fullest expression of who you are. It is one thing to dream, plan, and visualize, but without action, none of those aspirations come to life. Yet taking action, especially bold action, requires courage and a willingness to face uncertainty. It involves moving beyond the comfort zones that we cling to and embracing the unknown, even when fear and doubt try to hold us back. Bold actions are not reserved for the fearless, they are reserved for those who feel fear but choose to move forward anyway. The comfort zone is a seductive place. It offers familiarity, safety, and predictability. However, it is also the place where growth stagnates and potential remains untapped. Every meaningful breakthrough, every significant achievement, and every profound transformation happens outside of this zone. To take bold action, you must first recognize the limits of your comfort zone and make a conscious decision to step beyond it. This doesn't mean diving headfirst into chaos. It means taking deliberate steps toward growth, even when those steps feel uncomfortable or uncertain. Bold action often begins with a decision. It is the moment when you choose to stop waiting for the perfect time and start creating the life you want right now. Waiting for all the conditions to be ideal is a trap. The perfect time doesn't exist, and life will never hand you a guarantee. Bold action is about moving forward despite the imperfections and uncertainties. It's about taking the first step, no matter how small, and trusting that each step will lead to the next. Momentum is a powerful force, and once you start, it becomes easier to keep going. Fear is one of the greatest barriers to bold action. It whispers to us that we're not ready, that we'll fail, or that we're not good enough. But fear is not a stop sign. It's a signal that you're on the verge of growth. The key to overcoming fear is not to eliminate it, but to act in spite of it. Bold action doesn't mean you won't feel fear. It means you won't let fear control you. With every courageous step you take, fear loses its grip and your confidence grows stronger. Another critical element of taking bold action is embracing failure as part of the process. Too often we avoid action because we fear making mistakes or falling short of our goals. But failure is not the opposite of success. It is a stepping stone toward it. Every failure teaches you something valuable, whether it's a lesson, a new skill, or a deeper understanding of yourself. By reframing failure as feedback, you remove its power to paralyze you and instead use it as a catalyst for growth. Taking bold action also requires clarity of purpose. When you know what you want and why it matters to you, it becomes easier to overcome hesitation and move forward with determination. Clarity provides direction, focus, and a sense of alignment between your actions and your values. It reminds you of what's at stake and motivates you to keep going, even when the path feels challenging. Bold action isn't about recklessness, it's about calculated risk-taking. It's about recognizing opportunities, weighing the potential outcomes, and then having the courage to move forward despite the uncertainties. It's not about being fearless, but about being brave enough to pursue your dreams with everything you've got. Every bold action you take builds the foundation for the life you truly desire, creating a ripple effect that can inspire others and change the world around you. Defining your core values is one of the most essential steps in discovering your true self and living a life of purpose and fulfillment. Core values are the guiding principles that shape your decisions, actions, and interactions with the world. They represent what truly matters to you at your deepest level. Without a clear understanding of your values, it's easy to feel lost, unfulfilled, or disconnected, as though you're living a life that isn't truly yours. But when you define and align with your core values, every aspect of your life begins to feel more authentic and meaningful. Identifying your core values starts with introspection. It requires you to pause and ask yourself some important questions. What truly matters to you? What do you stand for? What principles do you want to guide your life? These questions may seem simple, but answering them honestly can be challenging. It's easy to confuse your own values with those imposed by society, family, or culture. To truly uncover your core values, you must be willing to dig deep and separate your authentic desires from the expectations of others. Your core values are not just abstract ideas, they are the foundation upon which you build your life. They influence how you spend your time, how you relate to others, and how you respond to challenges. For example, if one of your core values is integrity, you will naturally prioritize honesty and ethical behavior, even when it's difficult. If freedom is a core value, you'll seek opportunities that allow you to live without unnecessary constraints. When your actions align with your values, you experience a sense of harmony and alignment that fuels your motivation and happiness. Living in alignment with your core values requires courage and consistency. It's not always easy to make choices that honor your values, especially in a world that may pressure you to conform. There will be times when staying true to your values means making difficult decisions or standing apart from the crowd. But the more you practice living in alignment with your values, the stronger your sense of self becomes. Each decision that reflects your core values reinforces your authenticity and strengthens your commitment to the life you want to create. Defining your core values also provides clarity during times of uncertainty. When faced with a difficult decision or a challenging situation, your values serve as a compass, guiding you toward the choice that aligns with your true self. Instead of feeling overwhelmed or paralyzed, you can rely on your values to provide direction and confidence. This clarity allows you to move forward with a sense of purpose, knowing that your actions are rooted in what truly matters to you. Your core values also shape the legacy you leave behind. They influence the impact you have on others and the way you are remembered. By living in alignment with your values, you inspire those around you to do the same, creating a ripple effect that extends far beyond your individual life. When you define and embrace your core values, you not only discover your true self, but also unlock the potential to live a life of integrity, purpose, and fulfillment. The journey to discovering your true self is incomplete without embracing the power of self-reflection. In the whirlwind of daily life, we often get caught up in routines, responsibilities, and distractions, leaving little time to truly connect with ourselves. Self-reflection is the practice of pausing, looking inward, and assessing who you are, where you've been, and where you're going. It is not just a fleeting moment of introspection, but a deliberate and ongoing process of self-discovery. Through self-reflection, you gain the clarity and insight needed to live a life that aligns with your values, goals, and passions. Self-reflection begins with creating a space for stillness. In a world that often glorifies busyness, carving out moments of solitude can feel indulgent or even uncomfortable. But these moments are essential. They allow you to step away from the noise of the external world and tune into the voice within. This process is not about judgment or criticism, but about curiosity and understanding. It's about asking yourself meaningful questions. What truly makes me happy? What are my strengths and weaknesses? Am I living in alignment with my values? These questions may not have immediate answers, but the act of asking them sets the foundation for deeper self-awareness. Through self-reflection, you begin to uncover patterns in your thoughts, behaviors, and emotions. You start to see how past experiences have shaped you and how certain beliefs or habits may be holding you back. This awareness is empowering because it allows you to take responsibility for your life. Instead of feeling like a victim of circumstances, you recognize that you have the power to make choices and create change. Self-reflection is not about dwelling on the past, but about learning from it and using those lessons to move forward with purpose and intention. One of the most transformative aspects of self-reflection is the ability to reconnect with your dreams and aspirations. As we navigate the demands of life, it's easy to lose sight of what we truly want. Self-reflection gives you the opportunity to revisit your goals and passions, to reignite the fire within you, and to realign your life with what nation of confidence and resilience, allowing you to face challenges with grace and strength. The journey of self-reflection is not always easy. It requires vulnerability, honesty, and a willingness to confront both your light and your shadows. But it is through this process that you truly come to know yourself. You discover not just who you are, but who you have the potential to become. And as you embrace this journey, you unlock the power to create a life that is authentically and unapologetically yours. This is the ultimate reward of self-reflection, a deeper connection to your true self and the freedom to live a life of purpose and fulfillment.